I felt like I sucked my lip off. Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Sewing Machine Adventures, yeah! And I know in the last episode I was talking about making a t-shirt, and yes, today I'm going to be challenging myself to make a t-shirt with a pocket. I know, I'm pushing out the boat, really am. A t-shirt with a pocket. I'm like inventing the wheel, aren't I? Actually, to be fair, this t-shirt, I'll just say this straight away, this t-shirt was supposed to have multiple pockets, and it was supposed to be like this very kind of avant-garde pocket kind of t-shirt, but making pockets was actually quite a struggle, hence why this t-shirt's only going to have one pocket now. If it even has one pocket, I haven't made the t-shirt yet, so I could basically just have a bolt of fabric wrapped around us at this stage. Okay, so since I bought this mushroom fabric, and I absolutely love this mushroom fabric, I thought I would attempt to make a t-shirt out of this because, like, look at that. That's my colour as well. Very specific type of blue. It is me. I don't know why. It's either this or white. Looks really nice on us. One colour that doesn't work with us. In fact, there's two colours, and it's purple and red. I don't know why. I just don't feel like I suit purple or red. But this blue is everything. Right, so to make a t-shirt, what do I do?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think the best thing for this is to actually go and get a t-shirt that I already own and use that as kind of a pattern. So we'll use this one. It fits us quite well. This is the transparent t-shirt where you can see my nipples through it. So that's sexy.
No, ew.
And then if we just get one bit of the fabric, and like I was thinking, because my original idea was just to kind of draw around the t-shirt and make two of them and then sew it together. But if you look at a t-shirt, it doesn't have like a seam up here. The arms are actually attached separately to the body of the t-shirt. So I need to make a body, two bodies, attach them together, and then try and make two separate sleeves, make them separately, then attach them to the t-shirt. That's how I'm thinking and feeling like a t-shirt is made. I could be completely wrong. I haven't done any research, obviously.
Well, what a surprise.
Haven't had time to do any research, to be fair, because I've been poorly. I'm a lot better now, thank you for asking. We're just going to draw around the body first and try and get a t-shirt shape. I'm not bothered about the arms yet, and I suppose the arms kind of cut in a little bit, don't they? This is very tricky, you know. It's very tricky to make stuff. At the end of the day, this is my first time sewing a t-shirt, so if it all goes wrong, then I'll learn a lot for the next time I make a t-shirt. I'm just not sure how kind of perfect everything needs to be. I'm hoping it doesn't need to be too perfect. We stop there, that's where it's going to kind of cut in, and it's going to cut back out along here. Right, let's have a look at that. Just because obviously I know it was a rough kind of shape like that, wasn't it? Oh, I feel like I kind of understand this, you know. Right, I'll cut that out and then we'll have to do another one. But I'm not going to draw around it again because I want it to be exactly the same size. I will cut it slightly bigger as well, just to give me a little bit of room, just in case I make a mistake. You know what, I totally understand why, you know, if you've ever seen like Project Runway and stuff, and they'll make an outfit, or like this, they'll start making an outfit, and then they'll get the model to come in and do like a fitting. I totally understand why they do that, because I think it's very hard, even if you measure everything, to see what it's actually going to look like on the body, and then I suppose you just kind of make adjustments to it, don't you? I think this first bit is just getting like the basics done. I think as well I have a habit of rushing, and I think I really need to learn to just kind of like take my time with things. I'm a very impatient person.
What?
I know that's probably very shocking and new news to everyone watching, but I am. Oh, that's what I need. I need some like weights, don't I? I'm sure that's what people use in the fabric industry to like weigh the fabrics down. Right, so that should be our two main bits of t-shirt. I'll put them to one side for now. Right, and then sleeve wise, I'm going to need to make 4 of these, I think, because they're going to be sewn down here. Actually, no, because if we look at this, it's kind of got a seam down here and then a seam right around. So they must make like a double back to front kind of sleeve. Right, hang on. I need to sit and think about this, because this is like maths and science and stuff. So that'll be all one connecting, so it must be some sort of like that shape. I've got very thin arms, not bragging or anything, they're like little bits of string. I've tried adding muscle to them and it doesn't work, so I don't mind if they're too small. So we're probably just going to want like that, and then it's going to go up like that, and then you're going to go from there to there. Give me 1 second. Probably be something like that, and then I'm gonna want to flip it and do exactly the same. So flip the t-shirt. I know this is probably a very weird way of making a t-shirt, and it might potentially be easy just to kind of measure stuff out.
You think?
Let me just measure this and see what I'm doing. I feel like I'm not doing stuff right. That's like 25 centimeters. So maybe if I just do 25 centimeters, hard to get the angles right. And then how big is the sleeve entrance? 10 centimeters. And then just kind of connect it. I don't feel like that's right. That's not right, because that's not the same size. I'm just going to Google how to make a sleeve pattern. Oh, it's made differently to what I thought. Oh, there's just so many, like, mathematical things. So it's curved. I need, like, curvy bits. How do I do this? How do I make a sleeve? I don't know whether you're going to be able to even see them. But I'm looking at, like, patterns and it just looks confusing. That's not right. I'm trying to think of, like, stuff in, like, flat. How would it look flat? This is really, I don't understand why I'm struggling so much. I can't comprehend. Bear with us 1 second. I'm going to try and think about this off camera. I might watch some videos and then I'm going to figure out how to draw a sleeve because my mind is having a bit of a meltdown. Okay, so after about half an hour of watching various videos and trying to wrap my head around how a sleeve works in a two-dimensional form, which is like, I feel like I understand it a bit more, but I still don't have a clue what I'm doing. But I've made a pattern. This is my sleeve pattern. Now, does this look like a sleeve pattern? I don't know. Do I have any idea which way is the front, the back, the opening? Have no idea. Literally don't have a clue. But I'm thinking this might fold like that and like that and connect. So that's very long. That can't be right. But then if it connects this way, that can't be right either because that's supposed to be up at the top. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I should just cut like a rectangle out and hope for the best. I have literally no idea how to make a sleeve. I don't understand why it's so hard for. Does it even look like this? I'm an idiot. I'm a complete and utter idiot. This is the sleeve pattern, but I think if there's two in here. But if I'd known that, I would have kept my other one and made the other one fine, I think. So the sleeve is actually... That looks better, doesn't it? That makes sense. Why have I made two for? Why have I made like a double one for? Why confuses? Right, so can I cut this in half then? Now, I'm not going to ruin it. And that's a sleeve. That makes more sense. I feel like I understand it a bit. Why did you make us make two for confuses? So that is better. This bit's going to connect to the t-shirt. That's the armhole. That's going to connect round. Ah, yes. I get it. I completely get it. Okay, so I need to do two of these. I feel like people who make clothes and like fashion designers and stuff, they literally must have to be a mathematician. They have to be. They literally have to be. And then also there's the struggle of the conversion. So some people use inches, some people use centimeters. I personally prefer centimeters. I don't understand what inches are, but it's fine. We're going to get there. I think this is literally the only thing I need to do now. And then we can start cutting it all out. Imagine if I got a t-shirt, like a nice t-shirt that I could wear. How crazy would that be?
You'd better hope and pray.
Rather than piss around and draw another one, I'm just going to cut this out and then cut another one out. I did not think today I was going to be making patterns. This is only the third proper thing I've sewn so far and I'm already onto patterns. I feel like patterns is like an advanced skill. I don't think that's a beginner. It's weird because everything that you kind of want to sew and you think about sewing, you're like, oh, it's going to be really easy and it's going to be a piece of piss, and then it turns out to be way more difficult than you think it's going to be. Right, before I make another one, let me just double check that that looks right. That's supposed to go around my arm, is it? Oh yeah, it's tight. That's going to be a tight t-shirt. Sexy though, isn't it? I like a tight t-shirt because none of my t-shirts wrap around my arm like that. That's going to be nice. Am I going to be able to wear it? Do you think I should make it a bit bigger? No, I think it's going to be alright. Now cut another one out. In fact, I tell you what I've got. I didn't even think of this. I've got one of these, a fancy pizza cutter. Someone I used to work with gave us it, and this will be much easier. I know I'm going to be cutting into my table, but I don't want to move the fabric. And I think we all know by now, my table's an absolute mess. Again, I am hoping that there's just a lot of leeway in making a t-shirt, that you don't have to be like really accurate. I feel like you do, but I'm hoping you don't. Okay, I think I've got everything I need to make a t-shirt. I've got two sleeves, or what will be sleeves, and two parts of the body. And I think everything's feeling right. And now I think I just need to sew it all together, and then we can move on to the pocket. I think I'm supposed supposed to add, do I add the pocket on last? Or do I add the pocket on first? But I don't know where the pocket's supposed to be. I'm gonna make the t-shirt first and then we'll do the pocket. I don't know whether that's the right order, but I feel like that's what I need to do. To be fair, I feel like sewing is the easy part now. It's the pattern making and making things work. The sewing bit, love that. Love sewing. Absolutely love sewing. Pattern making, hate it. Absolutely hate it. We will get there though. Okay, so I've got my sewing machine out. I've got the body part all clipped together. And I thought we would sew that first and then I'll sew the sleeves separately and then add them together. I don't feel like that's the right way to do it, but for me, it feels in my brain, I don't know, I just feel like it makes more sense for us. Also, I'm pretty sure someone left a comment saying that if I was going to try a t-shirt, the sewing machine had to be on like a zigzag setting. And I've also looked at the stitching inside my t-shirt and it looks like they've used a zigzag stitch. So if we look at this, on this panel here, I don't know whether you'll be able to see them, there's lots of different kinds of settings. I pissed around with it last time and it all went wrong, so I'm hoping it doesn't this time. But I think I'm going to go for 8, which is a very small zigzag, and I feel like that's the right one. Also, as well, I would love it if sewing machines, the little kind of pedal thing, if the wire was a bit longer. It's so short. Okay, please just magically turn into a t-shirt. Wait, where am I up to? Because I need to leave the arm bits open. So where do the arms go up to? I nearly just sewed them shut because I wasn't thinking. Maybe I do need to sew the arms on first. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make a t-shirt. But I need to make the arms and I don't know how to do that. How is this going to connect to a t-shirt? I don't know how it works. I'm just gonna have to Frankenstein it and we'll leave some sort of gap and then I can go in and like seal any holes. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Not the right way to do it, by the way. I can tell this isn't the right way to do it, but I'm just gonna have to. Okay, so I've done that. I'm starting to think I'm doing things wrong. I'll need to like hem the fabric and stuff, won't I? Do I do that first or do I do that after? I don't really know. I've started now, so I can't really stop. I'm just gonna have to keep going. If it ends up being a disaster, it ends up being a disaster. At least the little zigzag stitch is working fine for us though. Okay, so that should technically be 2 sides of a t-shirt sewn together. I've left the neck open, I've left the arms open, and I've left the bottom open. So I think I might put that to one side and start sewing the sleeves. Then once I've got the sleeves, I'll attach the sleeves. And then what? And then like a hem it, I suppose. I'm just thinking like how does this turn into a sleeve again? Magic, magic, magic. Okay, so I just need to sew one side then, don't I? And it's just this bit, and that's going to be like the armpit bit. Okay, so the armpit bit, that's fine. I can do that. And if I put clips on it, I'll know that's the side I need to sew. I don't have very much confidence in myself, and I don't think anyone watching will have much confidence in what I'm doing either. But imagine if, weirdly, by the end of this, I had like a shit hot t-shirt to like show everyone. How amazed would everyone be? I'd be amazed, because honestly, at this point, I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. Oh, look at that little sleeve. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, 2 sleeves. How cute. Oh, I'm proper chuffed. At least I'm sewing things. Isn't that great? So now let me just think. I probably just want to attach the sleeves to the garment and then tidy all that up because I know I got a bit confused there. Oh my god, look, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. Look at that. Look at that. That's a t-shirt. That's a shitting t-shirt. Are you shitting?
Premature ejaculation.
Look at that. That does look like what a t-shirt looks like. How? How is that possible? How have I done this? I don't know. But how am I going to get this? Because this needs to be sewn like that. Now this is the tricky part. Is this even possible? How I've done this? I don't know whether it is. I'm going to have to really like maneuver it. I should have done it separately. At least I kind of understand where I've gone wrong. Okay. I'm going to try my best to sew this together. Okay, you know what, I feel like it's okay. I missed a little bit. I'm gonna go back in. We're getting there. It's open and somehow I've managed to do this. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be very, very rough, but I think I'm gonna get away with it. I don't know how I'm gonna get away with it. Okay, one side done. Okay, it's sewn on. It's lumpy and bumpy, but it's sewn on. Can I fit my hand through? Oh my god, I can fit my hand through. There's one hole. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fix this hole that I've made, and I'm also gonna sew the other sleeve off camera because it's really hard and it's taking us forever. And then what do I need to do? Attach a pocket and do the hems. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. I can do that. All working out. It's gonna be fine. Okay, just keep telling yourself everything's gonna be fine.
I'm fine.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go for some lunch, and I'll just give you an update on the progress of this because I don't think I'm gonna be able to fit into it because I was looking, and obviously I've got the arms on and it's looking like a t-shirt now, which is fun, but this isn't a stretchy fabric, and this is the size of the head hole. My head's really fat. My head's not gonna fit through that. I know it's not gonna fit through that. From far away, you wouldn't think anything's wrong with that. Obviously it's inside out and stuff. My fabric got caught in the machine on this bit, so the armpit looks a bit like an arsehole, but other than that, it's looking fantastic. I just hope I can fit into it. If I can fit into it, I don't care how shit it looks, I'll still wear it because I made it. But anyway, I'm gonna go for some lunch and give it some energy, and then we'll finish this off and hope it's gonna look alright. Okay, so now I should technically have a fully formed t-shirt. So we're gonna turn this inside out and see how either bad or good it's gonna look. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's rough. It's really, really incredibly rough. Beginner observations, where's the front and what's the back? I think this is the front. I don't even know what the front is. To be fair, that looks worse. That can be the back. So for a start, I feel like this is given hospital gown. It's not given trendy, funky t-shirt. It feels like something you would wear in a hospital. Also, the arms are wrong. One's longer than the other and one's smaller. It's also incredibly crooked. And then also, some of the sleeve is sewn on the inside and some of the sleeve is sewn on the outside. And it should really be sewn on the inside, not on the outside, because it looks really wrong when it's sewn on the outside. Like that seam there. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Perfect. But then when we go on the other side, that's not what you want. You do not want that. That's incorrect. So this can be the back. The ugly part can be the back. But then I've got a ripple at the armpit there. It's fine. To be fair, I don't think this is going to fit us anywhere. Everything's just a little bit off. But we're going to add a pocket and it's going to be amazing. So I thought for the pocket detail for this t-shirt, I wanted it in the opposite fabric to what I was using. It's like a nice contrast. And all I did to make this pocket, I just drew and measured a nice shape of the pocket out onto the fabric, cut that out, clipped it all together, and then sewed it all together. And this was pocket 1, and I don't think I really like that. It's okay, but I don't know, I'm not loving it. I also did pocket 2, and this one somehow was worse. It's not square, it's not even, and it's very rough. Up close you'll be able to see how rough it is, but I'm not going to show you up close. Then I thought I'd do like a little mini pocket, and I thought that would be quite cute, but again, it's very lopsided and just not right. So after the 4th attempt, I decided to go for this shape pocket, and I think I'm kind of happy with that. I think it's actually quite neat. Like, look at that. That's a neat little pocket, isn't it? How cute. And then all we need to think about is where does this pocket need to be on this t-shirt? I think I want it to be about, do we think about here? Hold it in place, and then just try and straighten it up a little bit. And then we're not going to do a crisscross stitch on this one. I'm going to change my setting to a number 2, a nice little fine stitch. I've never concentrated so hard in my life. I felt like I sucked my lip off. You know when you're like, that's how much you're concentrating. I feel like my lip disappeared. Okay, I think that's attached. Oh my god, the pocket's on. Oh my god, the pocket's on and it's functional. How cute. Okay, right. Well, I'm gonna try this t-shirt on and we can finally have the grand reveal and see how amazing this is gonna look. Okay, are we ready for the grand reveal? In 3, 2, 1, move that bus! Oh, my eyes! My eyes! And obviously, I'm gonna have to blur bits out if like a nipple slip or anything happens. But as you can see, it doesn't fit. I can only get one arm in. This bit, I can't do anything with. It's revealing. Like, there's no t-shirt. Like, I'll blur this out because I'm not having this on like the internet. But all down is just bare body. Because it just doesn't fit us. It just doesn't fit us at all. It's not fair. I also had to cut the back so I could fit my fat head into it because my head wouldn't fit. And it's not a stretchy material. This fabric has got absolutely zero give in it. It is the tightest fabric ever. It is the worst fabric to make a t-shirt with. I don't understand. Like, next time I make a t-shirt, I need to make one with some give. It's got zero give in it, so it just doesn't allow for any mistakes, and I've made so many mistakes. I knew it wasn't gonna fit. I could tell as I was making it, it wasn't gonna fit. And I'm gonna go away and put like a t-shirt on because I'm getting cold. Below this, it's just fully naked and
Disgusting!
like, look at that, wouldn't it have been nice? It's got a pocket on it, it's got some sleeves, everything's hemmed. It looks really rough in person. It doesn't look as bad on camera. If you start to look at all the stitching and just how rough parts are, that's the bit where I had to cut it at the back so I could fit my fat head into it. What's this? What's happened here? Oh, there's a hole too. I've just realised there's also a cute little hole there that you can poke your finger through. It's been bad. It's been a very, very bad sewing day today, but never mind. But anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed today's video, even though I've struggled a little bit. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And let me know down in the comments if you've got any tips and tricks for us and any advice on just sewing as a whole. And secondly, what do you want me to sew next? I know I had a lot of suggestions for a tote bag, and I'm thinking I need to go back to basics. But anyway, I'll see you next week for a brand new video. I wouldn't care, I've been sewing all day. It's literally taken me all day to sew a t-shirt that just doesn't fit us. I feel like I've wasted my time. I'm not wasting my time though, because I am getting better and I'm learning a lot as I go. I've learned so much about patterns today, and I've also learned that stretchy material and material as a whole, very important. And also measurements, surprisingly, are also very important. Who'd have thought it? I wouldn't have.